I come from an academic background, and we have to have our material well at hand before we can address an audience. Honorable Master of Ceremonies, elected and appointed public officials, the Right Reverend clergy, my renowned co-inductees, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I thank you for the kind words of introduction, and I am deeply honored to have been selected as one of the 2011 inductees into the National Black Golf Hall of Fame. It is a source of immense satisfaction to realize that although nearly 12 years have passed since my book Forbidden Fairways was published, it continues to be regarded as a valuable contribution to the broad history of golf in the United States. Before going further, I would like to express my deep appreciation to the many who supported my efforts. First and foremost, I thank my wife of nearly 62 years for her invaluable assistance. During the years that I spent working on the book, she was a stern taskmaster, let me tell you. Her comments materially improved the quality of the final product. Unfortunately, recent health problems prevented her from being present tonight. Then there are the untold number of individuals who graciously provided me with their recollections, their personal correspondence, old tournament programs, and clippings from newspapers and magazines. And finally, I commend the numerous members of staff at institutions across the country, especially at the Library of Congress in Washington, D.C., who assisted me in my research. Now, for the next few moments, I ask you to journey with me down the path that helps to unveil the story of African Americans and the game of golf. It is a story that is emblematic of our history on these shores since we arrived in 1619. Not by choice, but under duress. And it is the story of the resourcefulness, the courage, and the resolve of such heroes as Bill Spiller, Teddy Rhodes, Anne Gregory, Pete Brown, Charlie Sifford, Renee Powell, and a host of other talented black golfers. And if I omitted any names, it is one of the cardinal sins to name individuals because you're sure to leave out someone. Like you, I was overjoyed when on December the 6th last year, it was announced that Joseph Bramlett had qualified to play this year on the PGA Tour. He is the first African-American golfer to graduate from Q School since Adrian Stills, whom I had the pleasure to meet during the course of the past 2 days. Minutes after hearing the news of Bramlett's achievement, I received a telephone call from Bill Dickey, someone who is known to many in this audience. He He was particularly pleased because Bramlett was a product of the junior golf program that Bill had started in 1983. Arguably, one of my most refreshing golf moments occurred 6 days later, when I learned that Shasta Avery Hart had become the first African American woman to pass the LPGA qualifying school competition. With this accomplishment, the 6'1" Flint, Michigan athlete became the 4th black female after Althea Gibson, Renee Powell, and Lorraine Sugg to play on the LPGA Tour. Now, young Mr. Bramlett and Miss Avery Hart clearly deserve our congratulations, and I join with you in wishing them continued success in professional golf. Some have argued that since there is a World Golf Hall of Fame and Charlie Sifford is a member, there is no longer a need for a Black Golf Hall of Fame. I strongly disagree, even when it is advocated by individuals whom I have a great deal of respect for. We need the NAACP and the Congressional Black Caucus. There are black women who belong to the National Organization of Women, but there is still a need for the National Council of Negro Women. Perhaps that might change someday, probably in the very distant future. But until we see this come about, we have to cherish the existence of the 25-year-old National Black Golf Hall of Fame. And so in conclusion, and with optimism for the future of African Americans in the sport we love, I convey once again to you my gratefulness for being selected as one of the 2011 inductees. Thank you and good evening.